Good morning, welcome back. Happy Sunday if it's Sunday when you're watching this. I hope you've all had a great week. I hope you're having a great day. Today is Saturday and we have a big job on this afternoon. So if you've been following me on Instagram, you will know that Kingspan Water and Energy very kindly sent me a brand new diesel tank, and I have been so excited to share it with you all. It's techy, it's gadgety, it's gizmo-y, and I thought, what better way to show you the diesel tank than combine it with quite possibly one of my most asked for videos on YouTube, and that is a machinery tour. Now, quick disclaimer, if you know me, you know that generally if it doesn't have four legs, isn't black and white and doesn't moo, then I hold my hand up, and the first to hold my hand up and say I don't really know a lot about anything else. But I have spent this week trying to learn about machinery and trying to learn all about the machinery on this farm. As you will know, I come from a Massey Ferguson farm, and this is very much a Ford New Holland farm, so that'll be controversial to start with, but yeah, hopefully I can do the machinery on this farm justice, and then also as well, hopefully I can do explaining a very snazzy new tank justice as well. So obviously the first job today then is we are going to try and get everything on the yard filled up with diesel. Generally try and do this on a Saturday. Main reason is because some of the fuel gauges don't work on the tractor, so at least you know that there's diesel in it, rather than getting to like a Wednesday and running out of diesel mid scraping, because that's fun. So we're going to get all the diesel tanks filled up, and then I can tell you all about the spec of the Kingspan tank and the app that they have as well. So I suppose on the point of running out of diesel with a broken fuel gauge, we should start with the oldest tractor on the farm, and that is this David Brown 880. Runs every day, twice a day, maybe 3 times a day. I would say without fail, but this potentially gives that fact away. Generally starts every day without fail. This was a tractor that Stuart tells me they pulled out of a hedge and got going again, bought from a neighbour, got her running again. That is one thing I should probably say at the very start of this video. On this farm they are mechanics, they know what they're doing. Stuart is mechanically minded, his dad and his uncle are also actual mechanics. So they know their way around a machine, and they know, they're very good about servicing machinery, oil changes, changing filters and things like that there. So they're very good at maintaining their older machinery, and you will notice that as we go through all the different machines on the farm. They're perhaps not the most modern of tractors, but they all run fantastically well. They all do the job they're meant to do, and there's no finance. There you go, this is the David Brown. I will jump on here, we'll get her started and take her down to the diesel tank. I'll let you hear her starting because I'm told that's the thing that people like to hear. So we'll go and do that. Try and tell you a little bit about the tank before I start, because obviously once I start filling you'll never be able to hear me, but this is the very pretty fuel tank that Kingspan sent. It is a 3,500 litre Kingspan Fuel Master bunded tank. It has the locks obviously on the outside. There's a double lock, you can't see, but there's another one down here, and obviously once you turn the key then you can push these buttons, and it is incredibly satisfying. Wait for this. And then I can show you inside. So the first feature is obviously that lock-in cabinet, and then whenever we get in, everything looks really neat and tidy. Very well laid out. Over here we have a little switch, where we can actually see what we're doing. So we'll start down here. This is obviously the fill point, and this is where your oil tank man, your diesel tank man, can fill the tank with diesel. He doesn't have to climb up anywhere to attach the pipe. And then also on this is this spill stop, which is basically the anti-overfill device, which means there isn't going to be any diesel spilling out of your tank and running down your yard. Obviously have this wee tray down at the bottom that'll catch any spillages, then you can just dispose of that correctly. Then up here we have the pump and the filter. So I already said I don't really know an awful lot about machinery, but one thing I do know is that you need to have clean diesel. So obviously this is a diesel filter, which is going to filter out any dirt or water that might be in your diesel, which could end up causing a lot of damage to your tractor engines. The favourite features so far that have been discovered is this, the way this moves. Obviously stops your hose getting sort of bent and kinked. Then we move on to the fuel pump. You can just flick it on here and has your, I suppose, the total amount of diesel that's passed through the pump so far, and then your running total whenever you're actually filling into your tractor. Then obviously you have your 6 meter fill hose as standard with the auto shut off nozzle that tucks into there. Very nice and neat. I suppose after the David Brown is the 1975 Ford 7000. Now, like I said earlier, Stuart and his dad and his uncle know a lot about tractors and his dad knows a lot about Fords and New Hollands, so I picked his brains big time before we filmed this video to try and find out some interesting facts about the tractor. So he tells me that the Ford 7000 was the first tractor that they put a turbocharged diesel engine into, which I thought was really cool. On this farm, that tractor works the slurry pump, works the spinner during the summertime for fertilizer. She is a dual power tractor with load monitor for draft control, and she's made in Basildon in Essex as part of the Ford Force range type of tractor. Probably should now put in another disclaimer to remind you that I'm just telling you what I've picked up. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, if it has 4 legs, it's black and white and it moves, I could tell you a lot about it. 4 wheels, not so much. So next on the list is the 7710. She's a 1986 tractor. Whenever the cows are in the house, like they are now, she is a diet feeder tractor. And whenever they go out to graze, she runs the mower or the topper. This is also the tractor we had the post driver on during the summertime for whenever we were doing our fencing. Interestingly, whenever they bought her, shortly after they bought her, the engine that was originally in her blew up, but as I said, they're mechanics, they know what they're doing, and she's actually repowered with a 4-cylinder power start engine. She might be my favourite tractor, but that is purely on aesthetics. To be honest, see what's going on in there? I don't know. One of the benefits of having a tank like this that obviously is pumped and not gravity fed is that when you are filling 5 or 6 tractors all at once, you can actually get them done fairly quickly. You're not waiting. If this tank was gravity fed, I think we'd still be filling the Davy Brown. Stuart's 8340. This is his pride and joy. I think he likes this tractor more than he likes me. She is a 1995 model, which I'm told means that she is an in-between model, so whenever Ford sort of transitioned to New Holland, which means she has all the Ford stickers, but she has a New Holland front axle and grey chassis. Stuart actually, well, I wouldn't even notice it, but he says the keen eyes amongst you will notice it, that the bonnet is bent. He had a bit of an accident in the summertime with a bale and bent his bonnet, and because this tractor is his pride and joy, he's waiting on like specialist help or the right person to fix his bonnet. This tractor is 120 horsepower standard and pretty much does everything on the farm. So she'll pull trailers, she'll put the slurry out. Obviously you can see she has a loader as well. Before they got the telehandlers that we'll talk about, she put all the feed out, and then before the silage mountain existed, she handled all the bales. My 2 pence
into this tractor argument is that this tractor has the most uncomfortable passenger seat that I have ever sat in any tractor that I've ever sat in my whole entire tractor life. But that's basically all I can add to that. And then lastly, on the tractor side, we have the TM140. She is made in 2003. She has over 15,000 hours on her apparently. And for any of you tractor enthusiasts, she is a super steer model, which Stuart tells me is fairly rare to find anymore, I suppose. Again, this tractor pretty much does everything: mower, tedder, rake, slurry, whatever you want, she'll do it. And on the passenger seat argument, much more comfortable than the 340. And lastly, we have the telehandler, the JCB 526S. I asked Stuart how many hours was on this, and he said 50 million. So that should really say a lot for the amount of work that it does in the farm. It's 2005, and obviously swapping around shear grabs, tows, buckets. Obviously worked every single day, fills the diet feeder every single day. Very multi-purpose. My YouTube videos for a while, you know that a lot of that machinery stuff goes over my head. But what doesn't go over my head is technology, especially pieces of technology that make your life easier. So also with the diesel tank, Kingspan sent their sensit monitoring system. It is smart Wi-Fi tank level monitoring kit, which, I mean, in Anna speak, is basically a tank level monitor. So the monitor sits in your tank. There's a little sensor that sits on the top as well, and that transmits data to your phone. You get an app on your phone that can tell you all about your diesel usage, you know, how many litres is in your tank, how much diesel you've used that day, and when you need to phone the fuel man to tell him, I'm gonna need diesel soon, rather than like, hi Mr. Diesel Man, I need fuel like 2 hours ago. So that's just another little thing that Kingspan thought of to add on to their tanks. So that is all of the tractors filled. I have shown you them all. I have tried my absolute best. I mean, I feel like you won't have learnt anything about machinery from this video, but you'll have got a little nosy at the tractors on the farm anyway. Also, should say massive, huge thank you to Kingspan, and obviously a huge thank you to all of you as well for actually watching and commenting and engaging on my videos, because without that engagement then you wouldn't get these kind of opportunities. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.